Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning coffee. I know here it says TA Talk. We're gonna be recycling this set because it works amazingly, and the other one was having a little bit of a technical issues. But without further ado, let me welcome the one and only Army Piper. Piper, how is it going? Looking fabulous down there. What is up, brother? How has it been? Let me know. For some reason, I cannot hear you. Maybe you're muted. I don't know if it's only me, but it seems like we have a little bit of interference with your mic. Seems like we are distorted.
I think that might have fixed it.
Yes, it did.
There we go. There we go. The joys of broadcasting from two locations. There we go.
And different sets of virtual sets and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you guys know we have about 3 different setups that we broadcast on in 2 different softwares. So yeah, we're coming in 5x5 in a pipe according to West Coast IG 503 there. So we're good. Let's get into it, man. We got a lot of stuff that happened in the markets in the past 24 hours. So guys, welcome here to Chart Prime. This is the Saturday morning coffee. I know it says TA Talk, but it's Saturday morning coffee, guys. But yeah, we got a lot of things that happened in the markets and stuff. OC, is there anything you want to start off on? Or should I go ahead and show what I'm seeing over here on the ever beautiful Casper real fast?
Absolutely. Let's jump to the Casper because we've been looking, or you've been talking about that one over and over, and it's been playing out so fabulous. So I believe that it's worth taking a look at that one to get started. Let's ride on the action.
Word. Let's do it, bro. So check it out, guys, what we got here going on. And I'm going to first turn off some overlays that I have here just so that we can see what we're seeing on Chart Prime first. And then we're going to jump in and I'm going to show you some of these overlays that I have going on with it and what it is showing me on the charts here. So give me 1 second to move this all together so that I can turn it all back on quickly. There we go. Okay, so looking here, guys, we do have this ranging period here. You can see the consolidation score currently coming in at 7. However, we're still running a prime score of 9. This is looking at the 4-hour chart right now. We're still bullish on the on the 1 hour, the 12-hour, and the daily for the dynamic reactor. You can see that right there. So on the 4-hour, obviously sitting above it. Also on the 1 hour, the 12-hour, and the daily, all sitting above the dynamic reactor. If I went to those time frames, I got the multi-time frame dynamic reactor turned on. So it's great. We are still pushing right here. You can see that we did get a rejection back here several days ago. This would be on Sunday, 19 November. So about 2 weeks ago, we had a rejection off of this trade band here, guys. And this is the upper trade band. Our goal in predictive ranges. And if you guys want to know, I've got my predictive ranges set to 12-hour right here. 12-hour enabled on settings of 50 on a 12-hour chart. So even though I'm on 4-hour, I can look at it on multi-time frame. Typically, we trade between these 2 gold bands, and I've been watching and waiting for us to get back up there to give us that range box, which would put CASPA all the way up at 20 cents, guys. I do believe that we are going to get another chance to break above this and then move its way up. However, something that I'm watching, and I had to watch for rejection because you can see we had the downtrend arrow that printed here on the oscillator. We did get that flip of the ribbon. RSI primed, started going flat, and I warned everybody this is probably going to be heading down and that the signal line on the Ichimoku oscillator was heading into that reversal zone there, getting set to bring us some downside. I knew there had to be something going on here that was giving us this resistance. So I went ahead and threw on some trend lines here, first of all. And if we pull this up, you're going to see very cleanly coming off of this first wick that we had to the top side here, all the rejections here. Obviously, you're going to have those wick outs when Bitcoin just had a parabolic move, something like that, or a bunch of people FOMO in because they're like, it's setting a new high. And all of a sudden it comes back in. So I went off of this wick, this wick, this wick, and this wick, giving us that range of rejection there, almost touched it here. And then ironically, this weekend, or this week, ending this week, I should say, going into the end of this week, there we go. We had a candle close on 2 candles that was perfectly underneath that trend line. I believe that we are heading back down to this bottom trend line here for all of these touch points to give us that bounce inside of this wedge. We are currently in a symmetric triangle right now, guys. This can break to either side, but we've got some key support coming in from Chart Prime on here right now. one of the things that I'm watching is we've got that green horizontal predictive range right there. That's a support line. And then we also have, and that's why I have an alert set right here, just so you guys are tracking, because it's going to give me that indication if we do break that, and I'll get that alert and be able to jump on. But if we do break that, I'm watching for the dynamic reactor to be the retest point. We haven't touched it in a while, a long while. So if we do break that low, that's what I would be watching for. And then I would be watching for the bounce up from that point. But there's a couple of other things too that's coming in line with that confluence. Let's go ahead and turn on my trend-based Fibonacci's here, guys. And it's a Fibonacci extension. We've got this up, these lines are here, like phase 7 golden pocket. I drew these on, guys. It's right here. It's going to be your trend-based fib extensions, and I did it off of a point. Let me pull it up here just so you guys are tracking where I drew this from. Let me get in there. Let's get in there. Let's check it out. It was when we started making higher highs and higher lows way, way, way back. There we go. Yeah, it was way back here. I said, look, we got a low. There's now a higher high there. That's a good point. We pulled back to here and retested this previous point here. So this is a good level for me to drop this base trend extension in, and it starts to give me golden pockets. So I got a phase 1. Well, here's your 0 golden pocket off of your original fib section. Here's your phase 1 going in there. We got phase 2, and you can see how well these played out, guys. You can see a lot of play here on the phase 1, a lot of play here once it broke through phase 2. Phase 3 went straight up to phase 4 for rejection, came back and tested phase 3. And now we are up way, way, way up here with the rejection on phase 7. We pulled back all the way to here. And by the way, if you guys were watching Piper Academy live with OC and I on our YouTube morning show, I called from this rejection that we were coming down to 11.2. That was a 20% retracement that I called out live on the show. You guys could have got in on that, but we touched it. I said, you may never get CASPA at this price again, ever. As of right now, that is absolutely the case. It looks like you may never get it at 11.2 cents again. I think that we're going to come down here. We've got the base 6 golden pocket. We've got the green support line coming in off of off the predictive ranges. We've got a nice trend line in this ballpark here. And then on top of it, we have a fixed range volume profile. Guys, this fixed range volume profile is given our value area low right in confluence with our predictive range. So that's what I've been watching right here on this CASPA trade. And I do believe I'm probably heading back down to that 12.8 range for a bounce back up. But if we do break it again, I'm watching for the dynamic reactor at about 11.8 cents to be where we do get the bounce. I am thinking right now, I'm more on the side that this is going to be our range to bounce, and then we're going to come back up and retest this top again, maybe somewhere down in this time frame, be Monday or Tuesday. If we break this, guys, we're heading back up to that phase 7, which is our previous resistance point back here. So that's what I got on that. I want to give a shout out to Alex O Crypto. The Otter is in the house. How you doing, brother? Good morning. Happy Saturday to you. And I hope you got your morning coffee. Take a sip and buy the dip. There we go. OC, what do you got, man?
Absolutely. Well, I have also to say that we are looking at Rune, or I am looking at Rune here. And let's go here so we can talk about this. So, guys, if you don't know, Piper has invited me to his show, the Piper Academy. You should go check it out, because yesterday we were talking about the Rune trade. And we were talking about that range that where it is right now. It was about to be ending, so it was running out of time. We were looking for that flip of the ribbon, and we were analyzing the previous ranges that we had. So today, it finally broke to the upside, and we have a beautiful rejection out of the cedar line. Let me show you guys what I have right here on screen.
Hey, real.
So let's go to my charts. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Before you get into it, Nick9 said, how do you have your settings on the MA ribbon? My MA ribbon, nothing that I showed on here was from the MA ribbon on that chart. I do have it, but my MA ribbons are pretty low down here, man. If I turn everything else off, you'll see here, the MA ribbon is all the way down here. This is your 50-week moving average. On the higher assets that have more of a history, they'll definitely show up. Like if I was on Bitcoin, you would see it, but I'll give you those settings in just one second. You'll see I have 4 of them down here: green, yellow, orange, and red. I have mine set, and I only look at it because I'm looking for the weekly. Mine are set on 50, 100, 200, and 300 weekly exponential moving average. So definitely do get play on that. You can see down here the 50 played hard on this one. We retested on the 100, so on and so forth. So that's what I look at for my EMAs, as specifically the weekly, because I'm a swing trader and I do high time frame trades. So there you go. Go ahead and take it back. I just wanted to let Nick know that how I use my MA ribbons. Wasn't relevant to the Casper trade at all. The Casper setup that I'm looking at, that was all off of Fibonacci's. That was all off of Chart Prime Pro Suite for Confluence, and then a fixed range volume profile. So, gotcha.
Awesome, perfect.
Go ahead,
Yeah, let's jump. Absolutely. So, guys, this is the Piper's Academy. Oh, why is it not visible? That is so odd. Right, maybe because I'm on full screen? Is that it?
Hey, I did a trade like that one time with just the oscillator, just so you know.
Oh, nice. There we go. Now it's
just the oscillator, okay. Yeah, great.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. In fact, I think is CTS here around? He maybe can be sharing that link.
Yeah, ZTS. If you go into the Chart Prime YouTube, I will run back there to your studio. And here, let me turn myself up a little bit. One way, is that better? I just turned myself up max. I'm all the way up. OC would have to control it from his end to get it any higher. So I'm all the way up.
But you're going through Discord.
Yeah, I'm turned all the way up. I'm as loud as I can go over here. So
maybe I could turn myself a little bit down here.
Maybe.
Let me know so we can equalize.
Yeah, you can balance off to me. But yeah, I'll run back to your office in a second, ZTS, and show you where that video is at, so you can drop a link for it.
Perfect. So I lower my volume. Can you guys confirm that we're paired on volume?
Sound test 1 2.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Rebalance. We good. Perfect, guys. So let's wait for Piper to come here. But in the meantime, this is the Piper Academy. So if you're not following it, go watch it. Let me just copy this link in here and paste it to you guys here so you can go watch this video that we have talking about the possibilities of going over Bitcoin 45. But what I want to look at it is this trade that we got going on here. Let's read the captions in here because I don't want to push this volume to you guys because I don't know how is it going to be sounding. So let's read this caption that says here. That means I'm getting ready for what? The next movement to the upside. So look at that. Next movement to the upside in here. And we're looking at what is happening on previous ranges. Remember, my worst case scenario, it is going all the way down here to the VPVR and then re-looking what's going to be happening there. Look at my alarms. I have one alarm in here. Look at this white triangle setting my alarm. And look at my other white line in here. This is my other alarm. So remember, I'm looking for the breakthrough of that range. And what was happening? We were running out of time of that. What is it? Of that. Let me make this one. Here we go. Of that range. So clock is ticking for that range. So as you can see, we were expecting the flip of the ribbon here for us to jump into a long, as we also have a retracement on that section. Remember, the worst case scenario would have been maybe getting stopped out on the breakthrough on that range going down and then re-entering at that section. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is only the way that I'm doing and looking at the charts. So what happened right now, look at that beautiful bounce, the downside here, flip of the ribbon. Look at that beautiful flip of the ribbon. And you can see right here that my rune alarm got hit. And also I went into that trade as we broke the range up here. Remember, we were expecting that movement to happen. So guys, hopefully you did caught that trade and now you are a profit. Again, not financial advice, but right now I am moving my stop to entry and also taking TP number 1. And why am I taking TP number 1? Let's bring up this tools in here on ChartPrint, which is my market or my Market Dynamics Pro. On my Market Dynamics Pro, let me go to the settings. And by the way, if you want to know what settings I'm using, go over to the Extra Education and I have a dedicated video to show you what kind of settings I have and how do I use them. So I have my order blocks in here, but most importantly, I'm using my premium and discount zones, which is inside again Market Dynamics Pro. And where am I at right now? I'm in a premium zone. So that premium zone, let me adjust that in here. That premium zone, it's acting as a resistance. Also, look at my oscillator. We have double golden boxes here. And the only thing that I'm waiting is what is it stands for, guys? FOR. Just like we had in here, FOR. So flip off the ribbon, add resistance to flip my trade there. So far, guys, very nice trade. Hopefully you did jump in that trade. And Piper, maybe do you want to jump into Rune again, or do you have something else to bring up? Maybe I can throw it back to you, and then we do one and one. What do you say?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up what I'm seeing here on Solana right now.
Perfect.
Okay, so here we go. So here's a perfect example of my MA ribbons that you were talking about earlier there in the chat there. I've got my 100 week exponential moving average right here that was retested a couple of times, but you notice it was also retesting something else right here a couple of times. Our dynamic reactor. Guys, this dynamic reactor is a super powerful way to get a trend support range or a resistance range that you can, it's powerful, man. I love this thing. You guys hear Jay Bravo talk about it if you watch him at all the time. Me and OC always talk about it. This test right here on the trend assistant at the same time was just absolutely beautiful for an entry. Well, right now we broke that lower band of the trade pocket. I told you guys on the predictive ranges, we typically trade between these two gold bands. Quite a bit. Mind you, we had some down here that was below it, but pretty much this lower band is what we're trading in for the bullish side of this run. Our 50% line split between bullish and bearish, really sitting right here on that gold line, which happens to be the 382 on my Fibonacci. So this is what I talk about when I say when you tie traditional TA on top of chart prime indicators, you get this super powerful confluence. That's why I'm always telling people, keep your charts primed, because you might get a picture from traditional TA, but what you get when you overlap chart prime with that traditional TA is just absolutely murdering trades on the for gains. So looking here right now, what I'm watching on Solana is we do have proof of support on this 382, which happens to be right where that lower trade band is. I do think that we are going to see another test run up to that delta line of the predictive ranges there, coming in off of that. Plus our 50 is all the way up here. You can't quite see it right now. Let me bring it down. There we go. That 50% Fibonacci, and that's why I have this resistance box up here, is going to be coming in right beneath that upper trade band. So I'm thinking that we might get one more test down here on the 382 if things stay bullish with Bitcoin, because, Bitcoin's got a vote and everything. Reggie Classes, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? And that would be where I would look for an entry to the upside with the take profit 1, take profit 2 on that 50 there. And that's what I'm watching for Solana. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our oscillators are telling us right now. Yep, they're absolutely in confluence with what I was just reading on the charts themselves. We can see here we do have a downtrend arrow that's printing, and it does look like we're about to get that flip of the ribbon. Guys, we're getting a really tight cloud. When we get tight clouds, you can see what happens there. We get a tight cloud to the downside when it's higher, right? Just like when it's low, we can see here that when we get a tight cloud to the downside, underneath on the bottom of this, we tend to get upside movement. Well, right now I am seeing that we could get some downside movement. And again, I'm going to be watching for that 382 with that lower trade band of the predictive ranges. If that does not hold, guys, it could be a prime entry, and I'm talking super prime entry if we break that, to look at that dynamic reactor with that trend assistant again, giving us a repeat performance for a third time for upside movement on Solana. That would also give us time to reset this RSI down a little bit, give us time for the signal line to cool off a little bit, and maybe get us a bounce on that zero line of the oscillator. That's what I'm seeing there. OC, back to you. What you got next, bro?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Ethereum, because we also went into a trade on Ethereum. If you're not following up, guys, let me point you out at what we have in here. Let me copy here and post it for you. So let me do, what is it? Copy link and then post it here for you guys. So if you follow that link, and you don't need to do it right now, just take a look at that. I'm pushing there a quick tips. So what am I doing in those quick tips? So what I try to do is to answer what's going to be happening. As you can see right here, it says what to do if you're in a losing leverage trade. This is the part 2. So also go watch the part 1. This is where we tackle what to do. And also we were analyzing on that moment live what would have been taking a long in here at the top of the triangle and going all the way here in a leverage trade. So at that point, we were piercing through or breaking through that dotted line, which is at the top of the triangle. Let me play this one, and let's take a look at here. Above the reactor taking off go, I have to confirm a breaking. So do I have a confirmation? No, I need the candle to close. Nonetheless, remember, I'm risking my capital anymore. So at that case, I'm taking 90% out on that because I was speculating that I had a trading here. Remember, guys, it is not about the breakout. It is about the retest. And we saw that on yesterday's class. So going back into yesterday's class, let's take a look at what happened. Remember that it is not, the candle broke above, all right, outside that triangle, beautiful triangle. And guys, it is not about the breakout. What is it about? Let me know, guys, on the chat.
I know the answer. OC.
Love that. The retest. Yes. What is up, Piper? Sorry, I was looking here. Oh, here. the comments.
Oh, see, yeah, I know the answer.
What's up? What is going on, Piper? High five.
It's the retest. High five.
There you go.
Wait, I gotta go this way. There we go. No, we can't do it.
Yeah.
I need to get a guy so that I can hand you a bag of chips over to you, and then you grab the bag.
That would be amazing. So, guys,
we actually broadcast. I broadcast out of El Paso, Texas. He's broadcasting out of Cozumel, Mexico. So, yeah, we are way far away from each other, but come together for you guys as often as we can. So,
absolutely, and I love it. And by the way, guys, if you love great TA and bad jokes, you know you're in the right zone here. So, guys, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go with that beautiful and perfect entry. So, let's take a look at how far could we be taking this one. The first thing that we're going to be looking at this point is our previous high in here, right? So, what is that high? Let's take a look at a couple of other indicators here. Let me turn on my Market Dynamics Pro, and guys, this is the outdated version, so please use the updated version. Works great. The mathematics behind it has been improved and is much more precise. So I just been a little bit lazy and haven't changed that. But what do we have there? We have a premium zone here. We have a premium swing trade, swing pattern fill, and also we have an order block. So we do have enough confidence to maybe start doing that rejection. Also, we see that movement to the upside that usually gives us a higher chance for our retracement. So be careful on that. Look at how that movement to the upside usually breaks to the downside. Again, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. That movement to the upside is not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. So as you can see, we're getting close to that beautiful target. So DP number 1, I will say that I'm willing to wait just a little bit more for this one to blow up or to kind of like a reversing here, and then start gathering a couple of my first TP right there. Let me show you also why. Because if I start turning on, where is it? Come on. My Market Dynamics Pro. And where is it? Oh, I turned it off. But don't worry. That's okay. What else do I have somewhere around here? Well, I have my predictive ranges. Sorry, my prime ranges. My predictive ranges are all the way down here. So I'm trying to get in here as close as I can to the previous order block just to stay safe. So I'll be taking a couple of my money out there. What's going to be my next target? All the way up here after the breakthrough of that order block. And if we do a retest, I'm looking at a hopium, all right? Hopium 2,366 target. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that will be a chat for another time. I do believe that we could be facing just the the top of that movement and going for that retrace. Nonetheless, we are on a very high prime score, and also we are consolidating. So I am expecting that movement slowly but surely to that order block to be taken. So Piper, what do you think? And I will also like to throw it back to you. What are you seeing? Guys, sorry for that. And by the way, guys, if you have any requests, let us know right here so we can take those.
Awesome. What does the prime score measure? Jeremiah Dodds is asking. The prime score measures the strength of the trend. So it's a 0 to 10 scale. So if it's higher and it's like right now, it's sitting on a 9, that means that it is a very strong trend continuation. So as that starts to come down, that means that the trend is weakening and pulling back, starting to get to a reversal. So, yep. And that consolidation score is how strong the consolidation is horizontally. So think of one diagonal, that's the prime score. The strength of the consolidation going sideways, that is going to be your strength of consolidation. So that's your consolidation score. Does the prime screener auto refresh? Yes, it does in real time. So I actually use it for trade setups.
What is it?
What's that? OC? He asked about the prime screener. Does it auto refresh? John Han. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, bro. Oh, on the prime screener, does the reversal auto refresh on the prime screener? Well, so the reversal indicator, just so you're tracking, does not ever repaint. So once it prints, it will show up on the prime screener, and that will be there for you to know that you got a reversal that printed on that. So are the trades being posted on Signals? No, the Signals trades, those are dedicated people that are work with Chart Prime that give you everything on it, bro. What prints? Are you asking what repaints or what prints? It will print the first take profit, the second take profit. It will print the reversal. It will print the if it's above or below bullish or bearish on the dynamic reactor based on the time frame that you're looking at. So if you're on a 15-minute, it will be based on those printing on your 20. Oh, and to say reversal. Let me pull it up here just to double check. Yeah, I just say it will show a reversal if there's one there. And it's based on how many candles back you're on too. So let me pull this up just to show you. It's based, like I'm only looking back 5 candles on this one right now. But if I set this to like a 20 candles back on a 4-hour, it'd be a long time, but just so you're tracking, it will update here in a second. Look, this little eyeball, couldn't finish it spinning there. There we go. Now you can see you've got an engulfing candle to the downside that printed here that wasn't there on AVAX previously. We have one take profit from a buy signal, and it's bullish, meaning it's above the dynamic reactor. So, and it's going to be based on the look back, how many candles back you're wanting it to look when it's doing the screening. So, and this will update real time. So if the next candle comes out and it prints one of these items here in the prime screener, it will be annotated on this prime screener dashboard that one of those things has popped. So there you go. I hope that helps, man.
So do you have something else that you want to show us? Maybe another asset, or should we start taking?
I do.
Flat the public. What is it?
I do. I got Polkadot. That we called out live on the air right at the end of the show. And I said, hey, before we go, I got something that I just saw here. What is the box that says optimal tuning? I have it on my chart sometimes. So what that does, first off, Dr. Clune, it looks like your Discord is not connected to the premium side. So we need to help you out with that one. OC, while I'm going through the Polkadot chart, can you tag support to reach out to Dr. Clune so that he can get all of the full access, because he's missing some fire over here. He's missing some of that fire. So if you guys have a white name, just so you're tracking, and you are a premium subscriber to Chart Prime's Pro Suite, you should have a blue name or a yellow name or something like that. If you're in Crown, the Crown crew, you'll have like an off green name. You guys should have a colored name. White means that you do not have premium support, premium access, in the Discord. So yeah, we need to get that straight for you, because you're missing out on trade signals and all kinds of stuff, a bunch of free classes that are only on the premium side throughout the week. So just like this, but on Wednesdays and Saturdays, it's open to the public. So this is a good time for us to see who needs that access on the premium side. So we're going to get that taken care of you. OC just tagged support for you to get that set up. So taking a look at Polkadot here, guys. Let's see what we got here. And guys, if you have a white name on your profile here when you type and drop a comment or anything like that, got my coffee. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Diddy. Then just tag at support. Can you help me pair with my Discord? And they will help you out, guys. Taking a look at Polkadot here, guys. On the show earlier this week, at the end of the show, we were getting ready to go off air, and I said, hey, what do we have here? No, I did not see that. The other thing I really wanted to know about, if you have Time Piper, the Heikinashi settings you use, and could you explain the meaning of the wicks on them? I will do that right after I go over Polkadot. But we were ending the show, and I said, hey, I just saw this on Polkadot, and I had this trend line that I drew here. We were in the symmetric triangle range, and we broke it, and we were getting about in this range right here at about $5.30. I said, guys, this looks like this is poised to be a good trade. I said, you can either get into it on a ladder in process, or you can get in it when it breaks the delta line here, because there was previous resistance. It's that blue line right there above the 50. I said, if we break that this time, and it looks like we're getting a nice run coming off of this, the cloud. A lot of times we will flip on the cloud, and it happens. When it does happen, it tends to be a very strong move that it makes. I said, plus the RSI, we just got this really narrow candle here. We're getting ready to move up, and the signal line turned light pink, meaning that it was going to be moving up also on that break. So I said, look, check it out. If we get in here and you get on this trade, you can either get it on a retest of that delta line, which it perfectly retested, or you can go ahead and ladder in and then wait for it. Set your stop loss. Set your stop loss just below this. That way, if it does come up and hits your part two, you got a tight stop loss on the average between your first entry and your second entry. So who just tagged me? Not sure. Someone tagged me in the.
So that was me sending in the server, team server.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just making sure someone wasn't trying to get my attention over there. So I said my target goal for that trade was going to be the golden pocket up here. That was where we got rejected. Guys, we just got rejected off of it again. I am expecting just the intuition that we are probably going to try to come back and test that 50 and that delta line again. If that is a clean retest, you might have a really good setup for another long on Polkadot sometime in the next 24 hours. I do see that. Now we're going to get into your question that you had about the Heikinashi on RSI Prime. It is going to be so on RSI Prime, guys, it's a free indicator if you don't know. It's not part of the Chart Prime Pro Suite, but it is designed completely by Chart Prime because they like to make free indicators for you guys. The developers are working so fast and so hard, they just keep throwing out free ones on top of everything else. So let's get in here and talk. Oh, the delta line. Willie Beeman wants to know about the delta line. Let me finish the Heikinashi thing here, and then I'll tell you about the delta line. I'll isolate everything off but predictive ranges and walk you through that. So Heikinashi, I have the RSI Prime set on Heikinashi. You can use the candlesticks with patterns. Extremely powerful. You can see here, if we look at that on this point right here where we just got this. Oh, easy there, folks. Come back here. Get off there. Calm down. Settle down, sir. On this rejection right there, you can see that we did get that engulfing candle print on the RSI with patterns. And typically when we get those, super powerful too. But I like to use the Heikinashis because sometimes you get movements that don't have the engulfing candles. So I will go back and forth looking at them, but I like it on Heikinashi. Now let me explain to you why. Because Heikinashi candles, folks, are an average of the candle open and candle close. So it's not a true candle. You cannot, should not, you can, it's physically possible. You should not use Heikinashi candles on your main chart with the algorithm running off a Chart Prime. Here's why. It's not a true candle. Your wicks are not the true wicks. The candle body is not the true candle body. It is all averages. So that being said, if you guys ever see any indicator suite out there showing you how good their indicators are and they're using Heikinashi, it's reading false data. They're giving you false reads and they're doing it to manipulate. Matter of fact, if you look on TradingView, there's actually a disclaimer that TradingView makes about that on the claims or the performance of indicators using Heikin-Ashi candles, and that it's a red flag. So I don't use Heikin-Ashi on any other part of my chart except for RSI primed, and here's why. Because when you see RSIs primed with Heikin-Ashis, they are giving you that there is a slowdown between the volatility. So if it's going up like this and you have, no wicks, that's good. No wick, that's good. No wick, that's good. This is a continuation of price range. Let's go up here and we look at that part that I just did. Look at the price going with it right there in relation to the Heikin-Ashi having no wicking tops on it, okay? But if we go down here and we see that we started to get wicks here, and the candles got very short. They start to shorten. That gives you indication on Heikin-Ashi on the RSI prime that you're about to see a reversal. Well, what do I see here? I see the delta line. I'm going to cover that in a second of the predictive ranges. I see the 50%. Remember, 50%, in my opinion, anything under 50% on a Fibonacci is still in bearish zone. That is a key resistance area for reversal. You can see that we started to get that flattening, started to get some wicks popping up, had strong resistance area that we were hitting against, and down it comes. That is why I like these. You can see here, we had a little bit of play here, and that was the retest. Right here, you can see a little bit of play where it came back up, hit that signal line, and came down. Look, the wicking's gone. There's no wicking. That's a strong downtrend, and then it started to get short again. That is why I like to use Heikin-Ashi and RSI primed. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go back over to the chart prime, RSI prime with patterns, the traditional Japanese candles, because you will get some stuff like I just showed you, that engulfing candle here with this rejection. But overall, when I'm looking for market movement and market changes, trend changes, I love to see the RSI primed with Heikin-Ashi start to throw me some wicks and give me some shortened candles. Tells me that something's getting ready to happen. So that's that. Now, one last thing that you asked for, you asked me about the delta line of the predictive ranges. And I talk about this in one of my videos that's over there on the Chart Prime YouTube, where I actually talk about the predictive ranges and how I've titled them and used them in my trades. I believe that video is called the Piper Sniper video, and it's been watched and mastered and revamped a lot by users in here. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. It's called the Piper Sniper strategy. So, let me turn off everything here but the predictive ranges, and then I will show you how that works. Give me 1 second. There we go. And then isolate this chart off. Okay, so when I'm looking at predictive ranges here, and I need to turn off one more thing in here, I've got liquidity zones turned on. There we go. Buy liquidity zones. So predictive ranges, guys. Typically, predictive ranges are... Do you want to retrieve that link? Yeah, if you ZTS, go grab the Piper Sniper video, drop it here in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. Typically, price action tends to trade between these two gold bands. So let's go ahead and title these out here. You've got your top frame. You've got your bottom frame, your lower support, upper resistance, upper trade band, lower trade band, and your delta median. That is going to be the 50% line of the placement of predictive ranges. You see how some of them have wider distance than others? That's because of the amount of momentum and volume. When it broke the previous predictive range, it broke that top frame, fake out or breakout as OC calls it, and then created a new one. Guys, these are predictive ranges. This printed here when this was broken and told us that we were going to have a majority of price action occur between this area here until it breaks it, proved it as support, and then went up to break out the new one. Look here, in between those trade bands. It doesn't always play that way. Sometimes that trade band is just a little bit off, and you'll be able to know that based on where the resistance is hitting at. But you can see there is definitely play on these two ranges there between, and that's why I like to use that delta. So when you hear me talk about the delta, that's what I'm talking about. Let me get all of this Mexican spaghetti off of here. That's OC's dinner tonight, not mine. Yeah, what's up, bro?
I do. Before we move it out of that, that chart. I want to give up a pro tip in there. Could you isolate your bets there once again, please?
Do what with it?
Isolate them, the predictive ranges.
Oh,
So I want to show and
oh yeah.
a pro tip there. Please go to the previous purple line, and once the purple line has been broken, the very next line that we go to hit, and this is usually happens 90% of the time, we go straight for the blue line. And you can
Typically, yes.
just repeat it. Yeah, look at the previous one. And it repeats over and over and over again. It is not that. Look at that, breaking that purple, going for the blue one, and it repeats over and over. So when we restructure, you can have kind of like a sense, not 100% of the times, but like 90% of the times, we are going to go find that blue line. So when we are doing a restructuration of those lines, you could have kind of like a guess on where the price will be going to by looking at where is the new blue line printing. So that's all that I had for there. Just to add that pro tip that I had like in the back of my pocket. But yeah,
Sweet. Yeah, go ahead and take it back, bro. That's what I got for him. I hope that I answered everyone's questions. I think I got through them all. What's up, Trade Smart 1301? How you doing, man? You got your morning coffee? That's what we're doing right here. So, take a sip by the dip. Where's that? Are you
Aaron,
there? Take a sip by the dip.
no, they're not fib lines because the fib ranges, they're not predictive. This use a predictive math based on what has been happening before. They grab that math and they use it to predict.
I'm gonna debate you on that. They are predictive. Fibs are predictive,
Well, yeah, but they don't have predictive
but
data.
they're not algorithmic. They are sequential to previous tops and bottoms. So here's the thing. ZTS Rhythm has full access in here, man. Ben Redden said he can't post links, but ZTS Rhythm can. Yeah, that's what happens when you're of my blood. My children get that power in here. I will say this: they are not fibs. That is why you see me using fibs and predictive ranges, because between the two of them, take a look here. We get strong here, bounce on this, strong resistance on this. But look at the confluence between the predictive range here. Oh, I wasn't on. Look at the confluence between that delta predictive range and that 50% on the Fibonacci's. And then up here, I have no predictive ranges present, but I've got my golden pocket. So that's why you see me using both of them. It is that overlapping confluence that I'm looking for. Traditional TA that I love to use. I love to use Fibonacci's. I love to use trend-based fibs, and then fixed range volume profiles. And then that on top of Chart Prime is how I get absolutely brutal with my trades. So that's a different thing. No, actually, Ben Redden is family too. He's actually in the Netherlands, and I talk to him all the time on the phone. So he is family. But in Chart Prime here, I got to give my son access to support what I'm doing on the back end. So. Let's go and talk about how to place a fib. Give me an asset.
I would like to, yeah, so I would like to tackle what is it, STX for Reggie, because he's been waiting for a while, and then throw it back to you for the fibs. Well, that sounds cool.
That sounds great. And then I want to answer PA Firestorm. He said one of the predictive ranges time settings for different chart time frames. Bro, I keep mine on 12-hour all the time. I never take it off a 12-hour. I trade the 4-hour chart. I keep it on the 12-hour, and then I do top down, looking at the daily down to the 4-hour. If I need to get a precise snipe on an entry, I will drop it down to the 1 hour, but I keep my predictive ranges on 12-hour. If you're a shorter time frame or a lower time frame trader, and you like to trade at like 15-minute or an hour, maybe look at leaving your predictive ranges on that 4-hour time frame. It's going to give you those much better moves. So there you go.
Absolutely. For me, I do it a little bit differently. I always keep it on chart. So whenever I change a time frame, they move with me. But again, I also look for that confluence. But so let's tackle our STX. So
hey, real fast, OC, that's a perfect example of why when you guys ask about what's the best settings for this, there is no best settings. It's based on your trade strategy. OC and I both been using Chart Prime for a long time, him much longer than me. We both have two different approaches to using the same indicator for our strategy based on what works for us. And that's why there is no best setting on these indicators. You got to learn how to use them, learn your strategy, we can help you do that by showing you some tips and tricks of what we do. But at the end of the day, it's based on what you do with the knowledge that we give you, and you go, this is what worked for me. It's a buffet. You don't use all of them at once. You go and you pick out what you like off the table, put it on your plate, and enjoy your meal. You don't have to eat what me and OC both eat, which is usually Mexican spaghetti.
How do you set? Where do you set your predictive ranges? There is on Market Dynamics Pro. You just scroll down, and then right below the multi-time for support resistance, you will find the enable predictive ranges. So let's jump in to see where we're bullish or bearish. We're bullish on STX. Our prime score is very high. Our consolidation score is very low. On weekly, we're still pretty bearish, so I would love to go ahead and look at weekly. We mostly are going to go to hit that dynamic reactor. And yes, it looks like we're going for that dynamic reactor. So huge support, huge resistance might be coming this way. So let's go back to the 4-hour and see where is that big resistance. So far, it's looking like we're having also like a symmetrical bull flagging here. So let's see what else do we have and what could we be looking at this point. Remember, this is a previous zone where I have my dynamic reactor on weekly. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is taking a look at my oscillator. Am I above or below the zero line? I am technically above the zero line. So what am I going to be doing? Considering that I do have enough momentum to keep breaking stuff to the upside. But very, very important, I do have also a bearish divergence. So I need to wait for that flip of the ribbon in order to find either a continuation of the trend or a breakthrough that zero line for a retracement and keep following with that uptrend that I have. Look at where is my dynamic coming in, and look at where also I'm seeing this line to maybe could be happening. Let's turn on support and resistances and see what else do I have there. Look at that very precise support zone that I have here, and also a huge support zone that I have down here. The next thing that I'm looking for, remember, it is not about the breakout, guys. It is about the retest. And you see exactly what am I hoping or expecting an FOR. Because right here at the support number 3, which, by the way, this is a big support, number 3 on the 4-hour time frame, that might be giving me the flip of the ribbon that I'm waiting and expecting for the next movement. Now it's time to use those predictive ranges. Look at what I have here. And let me clean them up just a little bit. My order blocks, I already have looked at them. So let me turn off my order blocks. Also, let me turn off, my premium and discount zones, because I already had hit it once. And that will be basically it. I'm almost going to be only using my, I'm going to also turn out my money flow POC. And that will be it. So let's also clean this up. Here we go. So with my predictive ranges, now that I'm looking for the next resistances, look at where do I have the purple line. And remember, on weekly, where is that dynamic reactor coming in? And where do I have the next blue line of my predictive ranges? As you can see, this is what I like mine to be changed with the time frame that I have, because they give me a different perspective. As for Piper's approach to it is that he wants theirs on the 12-hour to compare throughout different time frames. So it's just a different way to use them. And look at where I have my confluence zone all the way up here. So going back to the 4-hour, if I'm able to break through that or bounce on that support zone, support line, I will be going for maybe that purple predictive zone. So far it's looking great as long as we find that support on that zero line zone. Also, because we were talking about the RSI prime, let me show you something that I like to doing here. My favorite way to use the RSI prime is with the candles with patterns, all right? Why? Because now I can perform the same TA that I have up here on my candles, but right down here on my RSI oscillator. So let's take a look at what is that getting me right now. So if I look for, and let me just clean this up, here we go. If I look for support and resistances, well, then I can now start seeing when that resistance is broken, when am I changing with that support, and also I can start making my channels in here. So remember, it is not about the breakout, it's about the retest and what happened. Off we go. So the same thing happens with this. Look at those wicks that I have there. As soon as I break through that line, look at what am I having here. Where to? The big support that I have. So the same thing I'm doing here. So what do I see here? I see a couple of candles already pairing here. So I need to see where is this candle closing, because this is looking like a doji candle, indecisive candle, all right? So if it breaks through this trend line, well then remember, what am I being telling you? It is not about a breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. Just like it happened here. Like you can see here, it is not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and then what happened? Off we go. So also, we could be facing an end pattern, but again, that will be only defined if I have my flip of the ribbon here. So far, I'm above the zero line, so I'm much more bullish than anything on STX. So if you have any questions also, let us know. And Piper, do you want me to jump into the charts? Maybe you want something else to explain there before we wrap things up.
No, I think that's pretty good, man. I think we covered a lot of stuff today. If anybody has any other questions in here, not TA, like, hey, this asset, can you look at it? But TA process, TA strategies that we've gone over, let us know in the chat and we can knock that out for you. But guys, right there, ZTS Rhythm just posted the YouTube link for Piper Academy. This is the morning show that OC and I do every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go live. We talk about the news, fundamental news and macroeconomic news that you need to know on stuff. We look at market open for stocks. We look at some like gold, stuff like that. It's not all based on just crypto. It's a lot of crypto in it, but that's because that's what we trade. But we do look at a lot of different charts, and we talk about a lot of TA. We just go back and forth and banter and talk about, hey, how's this news on BlackRock going to affect price action today? Or how is this PCE report that just came out from the Federal Reserve going to, how are they going to react to it, stuff like that. So Bedredden, I have not done anything with the machine learning momentum oscillator yet. OC, Bedredden is asking about the machine learning momentum oscillator from Chart Prime. Do you have any alpha for him on that? Because I have not messed with it yet.
Well, so far, we're working on a video. So I believe that we could be posting that video and then dedicating a class for that. Would you like that, Bedrin? What do you think on that, Piper?
I think that's a great idea. Because I haven't had time to dive into it, man. They come out with them so fast, I can't learn them all. Aaron wants to know if you can go over the fair value gap settings in Dynamic Pro.
Sure. Would you like to take that, or should I take it?
You go ahead and take that one. Reggie Classics, I'm going to answer some questions here in the chat while you go over that one. Go ahead. I'm typing to him.
Oh, I see. Perfect. So the fair value gaps, basically, I keep it as default, but let's take a look at that. So I enable fair value gapping here, and also let me turn those on and turn everything else off so we can start making those changes. So order blocks off, triangles, wraps, everything turned off, disable. So it seems like we should only be having those on, along with, it seems like predictive ranges are also set up. Maybe this is not the, yeah, let's do it. Disable, and also disable. So we can isolate that exact one. So again, with every single indicator, it depends on what are you looking at. And also remember that this fair value gap, it's based on the smart money concept. So depending on what are you looking for, this is what are you going to be changing. So for example, the time frame for me is chart, but it also might be much better for you to analyze based on your bigger time frames. Like for example, if you want to take a look at the fair value gap that is on the 4 hour and you're trading the 1 hour, that's fabulous. Like I would be changing those to daily to give me the fair value gap of daily. because that way I have a huge zone to measure those upcoming movements. But again, that depends on your style. But as far as just suggesting one single setting, I think that is depending on how you trade those. So the time frame, Fire, you got the time frame, here we go. I like it on chart. And then the sensitivity, I leave in as 4 as default. But if you're seeing too many gaps, well, then you can start deploying them by reducing or increasing this number. Like, for example, let's take a look at the 10 number here. Let's wait for that little eye to stop moving, and you're going to have a much more sensitive value gap detection. You're going to have value gaps all below and above. So for me, I rather have as small as I can on the fair value gaps. Why? Because I also want to be adding on top of this something like multi-time frame support and resistances, because remember, those support and resistances are not predictive. They are proven to be there. So let's do local. Daily, let's do again local, and chart again medium. So also I'm going to be lowering the gaps between these ones. So let's do this and like that. Therefore, adding to the confluence between the fair value gap that I see and also support and resistances. Does that make sense on what am I doing here with the fair value gap settings? Or would you like, or do you have any other questions regarding that one? Exactly, less sugar. Perfect. Sometimes less is more. But Piper, you were also looking to answer other question, isn't it?
Oh, I already answered it, him in chat. I just replied back to him while you were talking about that one.
Perfect.
Yeah, I flanked it. I flanked it while you had a front moving.
Yes. So, Aaron, we are running out of time right now. But the fair value gap, so explain about the gap, that is a smart money concept. I do advise you to go and do a quick read on that on the email, and we could be taking that on the next Thursdays. That it's advanced class, so we can tackle that fair value gap concept that we have going on. So because that usually is going to be taking us like at least 45 minutes to go over. But yeah, absolutely, we can take that and we can schedule out for Thursday's advanced class. Does that make sense? Or
I'm actually going to drop something in here for him right now. I'm actually because I got my Chat GPT 4. I'm actually just asked Chat GPT to write up an explanation of fair value gaps, and I will drop it here in the chat one. Just you got to give me a second. I'm going to stay in here a little bit after the show to drop this into the chat, and you'll be able to grab it. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, and let's head out of here, OC.
Absolutely.
Let's go touch some grass. It's Saturday.
Yes, please. Let's do it. Let's have some sun in the face. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a great pleasure. As always, I would love to wish you a great Saturday. And Piper, would you do the honors again?
Yeah, let's get into it. Folks, thank you for joining us today for the Saturday Morning Coffee. Another special weekend episode of TA Talk with OCGuy and myself, Army Piper. If you guys have not grabbed that link that for the Piper Academy show, that is on YouTube. It's mine and OC's show that we do every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you the news, the macro, and what you need to know to make money in the markets, because knowledge is profit. Guys, thanks for joining us here. Don't forget, check out the events, get into the Monday class coming up. And then if we see you at the Piper Academy, great. If we don't, we will definitely see you there. Until then, guys, trade safe, stay primed, and as always, use a stop loss.